I've got an interesting interview for you tonight. I ran across a real estate broker, a real estate agent who decided, she's a mom as well as a real estate professional. She decided that she wanted to compete for the cover girl of Maxim magazine. And I thought that was kind of intriguing. And so I wanted to find out why she wanted to do that, how she wanted to do it, etc. And so she's here. Her name is Marina Kasyanik. Is that right?
Kasyanik.
Kasyanik. I apologize. Got close there. And cover girl for Maxim? Maxim?
Yes. I know it's very daring and it's completely opposite from what my image has always been. Being a real estate agent, being a mom adds a lot of formal obligation on the image. Actually deciding to submit my pictures to that competition was thanks to a few people. One, my partner, who really supported me and encouraged to do that. One of the people is Vida, who is, joining us today because she really allowed me to see myself from a different perspective, through the different lens, literally, and see that, the girls who are on the cover of the magazine are not just the models, but actually women, and I can be one of them. And the other part of that was seeing my girl growing up and wanting to be the role model for her, because accepting yourself, understanding that you're not perfect, but accepting yourself the way you are is what I'm trying to teach her now.
Now, being a real estate broker and being a Maxim cover girl is a little bit different. Why would you want to do both?
Why not?
Good attitude. Okay. What has been the response from some of your real estate broker friends?
Surprisingly, extremely supportive. I've had a couple people who vocalized, why do you need this? And I think it stems a lot from people's insecurities, because we are brought up in a certain way and the society allows us to be a certain way, but I really came to a conclusion that you don't need to separate yourself. You either have brains or you have the looks. Why not having both? And in my personal opinion, none of the pictures have any offensive nature. They're beautiful to look at, and that's why I was confident posting them.
Well, let's bring your photographer into the conversation. I want to introduce you now to Vida Mark, who is the photographer, and she specializes exclusively in boudoir photography, which sounds kind of interesting. Vida, how are you today?
I'm good, Brian. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So how do you take pictures of Marina that are appropriate for Maxim, but at the same time, as she said, aren't overly sexual and aren't overly provocative?
Well, I should probably begin by saying that when we did the session with Marina, the purpose of it was not at all Maxim. I mean, maybe she had it on the back of her mind already. I don't know. It was not known to me. So we did what I normally would do with any other of my clients, which is to raise her self-confidence, show her how really beautiful and sexy she is in the way that she's beautiful. So when you speak about it being overly sexual, I mean, well, then again, what is sexy to you? That is my favorite question to ask a client, because there's never the same answer. Does that make sense?
What is sexy to me is never the same answer for any one client?
Exactly. I mean, for some, you maybe, I don't know, wearing a skirt and, and smiling and playing with her hair, and another one would maybe want to wear a racy, bikini, or do something even more mischievous, wearing some nice lace lingerie. It's all about posing too. It's all about attitude as well. Some people like it to be very smiley and happy and kind of, a sweet girl next door kind of look. And some others want to be a bit more provocative, a bit more sexual. So Really? What is sexy to you?
And so you did this shoot with Marina, and Marina, you obviously liked them, and your partner liked them, and encouraged you to submit them to Maxim. What's the process now to find out whether you're going to be on the cover?
So I'll backtrack just a little bit, because no, that was not a purpose at all when I did want to do this photo shoot. And actually, the reason why I wanted to do this was to bring my self-confidence up. And I wanted to see, can I be one of the girls that, are posting their pictures either on social media, and I look at them and I'm saying, wow, she's really beautiful, without sounding like, in any wrong way. But when I did see those pictures, and when I, actually almost a year later, I saw the opportunity to participate, then I knew that these will be the pictures that I would be submitting. So thank you, Vida. In terms of the process, so right now, I believe there were around, I don't know how many thousands, but there were thousands of submissions. Right now, it basically narrowed down to about 400 girls, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
And from there, for the 10 days, there's going to be a voting that will end on June 4th, and that will determine the top 20.
And when's the voting start? And if people want to vote for you, how do they do that?
The voting officially started today, and there are groups of girls. I guess the organizers of this competition, they divided the girls into groups, about 30 or 32 in each group. So at 2 o'clock today it started. The link is on my Facebook profile and also on my Instagram profile. And all you have to do, people are allowed one free vote every day for 10 days. So if you wanted to vote every day for me, I'd be greatly appreciative. And the other thing, which is a little bit, I don't know how to treat it, you also have an option to pay for the votes. But then it becomes really, I saw that option, and I don't know how I'm, treating that part, because really then it boils down to who can afford the votes. But nevertheless, what means a lot to me is being an example for other girls who always wanted to do that, but feel like, no, it's not for them, because that doesn't happen to average people, or, to people who they know. I've talked to a few of my friends, and they got really, really excited about that. I know one of the girls has applied, and she actually also got accepted. So we do support each other in this journey, and it's actually making it fun to know that you're competing with your friend. And so after 10 days, they're going to be announcing, but once you sign up and you vote, you're going to be receiving the updates. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, I am the second or the third in the group. So again, I appreciate everybody for support.
Excellent. Well,
Wow.
good luck. We're going to take a quick break from messages and come back with Marina and Vida in just a minute. We're chatting about why a real estate broker would want to go into a competition to become a cover girl on Maxim's front cover. Stay with us. So welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. We're chatting with Marina Kasyanik, I apologize, Kasyanik, who is a real estate broker in Toronto. And I was surprised to find out that she had put herself into a competition to be the cover girl for Maxim on the magazine, and she submitted some portraits for that. And you're also a mom, and you say, Marina, that you've got a young girl. What do you think your daughter's going to think about this?
Oh, I told her, she knows. And she actually told my mom that my mom should submit the pictures too.
So has your mom submitted some pictures?
No. Actually, if anything, it was my mom's attitude that she supports me, but she does not know how to treat that, because it's different generation mentality. When it's, can be looked at as not an appropriate thing to do, because why do you need to do that when you're smart and you have your career going on for yourself? Why do you need? And it's looked in a way that, are you looking for more attention? Which in reality, I'm not looking for attention, and I'm not doing it for, for others. I'm doing it for myself. And the reason why, again, I'm doing it is because I'd say it's on my bucket list, and it's daring because that's completely not what I'm used to doing. And it's not my full-time profession, but why not being, beyond the profession? Why not just being a woman?
Have you done any other modeling or acting?
No, never.
And not in, fashion or anything like that?
No.
Really? So, it's interesting, and I'm not trying to suggest this is you, but just to be provocative here for a second. My kids describe people that are posting, overly sexy pictures on Instagram as being thirsty. And I guess this is some term that the kids have, thirsty for attention and thirsty for likes. Is that motivating you at all?
Is that question to me or Vida?
To you.
That's what I'm saying. If I was doing it full time and that's the only thing that I would be doing, then yes.
But to do it once for fun is just doing it once for fun.
It's showing that I'm not just one dimensional. I can be, also, a professional real estate agent. I can be a mom, and I can be playful and fun, but it's all in one person.
Brian, I can answer this question also.
Okay, please do.
So when you scroll social media and you see endless hot girls posing here and there and vacations and all these good things that happen to these beautiful people, and we're so used to seeing everyone else as being beautiful, and we're like, wow, she is gorgeous, she is amazing. See, I could never be like her. She gets so many likes, she's popular. I could never be like that because I'm not beautiful. So this is exactly where I step in. This is where I help people around, like Marina, really, who wants to have that validation that she too is just like all those other girls, and she too is just as beautiful and can get just as many likes, but doesn't need to do it, continuously. It's just here to prove to yourself that, hey, I got it too.
So when you say you step in, what do? You do what? Hair and makeup and posing?
Everything is actually a full day girls hangout. We meet around 8 or 9 in the morning, and we finish up by dinner time. So we'll start with hair and makeup, which takes about a couple of hours, and during which time we chat about what the girl likes, why she's here today. Is she doing it for herself? Is she doing it for her partner? What she finds sexy? What did she bring to wear? We get to know each other a little bit, and then once she is ready for the camera, then we begin with the instructional time, a little bit about how to pose. Now, every photographer will have their own aesthetics with this, and their own techniques to how to achieve, say, a good natural smile. So I will teach my client what it is that works for me and for my clients. So usually it's about a 30-minute, like a mini workshop. So I show, I talk, she repeats, we have fun. And then we're like, okay, ready? What is some good music that can get you into the groove? And lately it's been a lot of this album called Trilogy by The Weeknd. We put it on, it's pretty groovy, and we just start slow, and then we basically go through 3 or 4 outfits, and we get to pose anything from really pretty, mom appropriate portraits, just like, head and shoulders, and just having great smile and those great hairdo and great makeup to show off. Things that are totally okay to post on social media if you don't want to go in that thirsty direction of sexy photos. And then, we'll work on towards the end of the session what it is that she really came for. So, if she just wants to look good in a bikini, I can do that. If she just wants to learn how to put her best foot forward, what's her best side, people like sides differently. I will teach them, I will show them newer angles they never knew they had. And that's really what makes it for me as my whole satisfaction with the area that I work in is that once I show the back of my camera to the client and she goes like, oh my God, is that me? Is that really me? Oh my God, you're a magician. And that really makes everything worth it.
I want to add to this, actually, if you don't mind. There are two parts to this. Like, one of them is, for sure, it's a very intimate process of opening up that feminine part and exposing it. And Vaida is amazing at guiding through this, and I'm very grateful to her allowing me to do that. And in the end, it's really fun. Like, it's one thing when you're being complimented. It's very hard for us in general to know how to accept the compliments, and making you feel uncomfortable that, oh, you're beautiful and you're this, you're that, but really feeling that inside, like, yeah, I can see that. Vaida allows to see that through the camera. On my real estate level, I can refer to this. That's what I do when I do the staging for the house and do the professional pictures. Your house that you're so used to, you like it because you live there, but then a professional stager comes and dresses it up the way that, you know, it looks like, again, on the cover of magazine. And then a professional photographer takes pictures. You look at the picture, oh my God, that's my house. Borderline, I don't want to sell it anymore. But that's, you know, like, on this level, I can completely relate to it, because it's the same thing. We're so used to seeing ourselves in, you know, every day in the morning, and we just don't notice it anymore. But then when you do professional makeup, you do professional hair, you dress up for the occasion, and the professional takes your pictures, you're like, wow, she's really hot. I like her. I want to be her. And then you're like, wait a minute, it is me. And that's the best feeling.
Vaida, you said that people do it for either themselves or their partner. What do you think? Did they primarily do it for themselves or for their partner?
You know, every woman who tells me that they're doing it for their partner is actually lying to themselves. Hence, my company name is White Lies Photography.
Sorry, what is your company name?
White Lies Photography.
White Lies Photography. That's interesting.
Right. So
why
the first little white lie. Say again. Sorry.
Why white lies?
Why white lies?
Yes.
I'm just explaining that. So the very first little white lie that a woman will tell to her partner if she's doing it for him is she will come up with some sort of, you know, white lie excuse as to why she's not home today, or while she's gone, you know, next week, and what she's up to. She may be like doing a little surprise for him. So that's the first white lie. And then the second white lie is for those who, you know, who say that they're doing it for their partners rather than for themselves. I'm like, girl, you don't know it yet, but this is really for you. It's almost like going to the mall and finding this gorgeous black dress. And you're like, oh, I don't need it. I have lots of black dresses, but I really want this dress. And then you convince yourself that it's okay to buy it because it is for work. I'm going to use it for work. I'm going to use it for that company party. So therefore, I'm going to buy it. So you allow yourself to buy this dress. And it's kind of the same thing when it comes to gifting these photos for your partner. You want to be accepted by him. You want to look hot to him or her. You want this to be a little intimate, secret gift. However, the truth of it is that the very, very real gift that he's going to be receiving from my client is the new attitude and the way she jumps his bones, the way she feels about herself. And that is something that you cannot buy.
So the real gift is a new attitude, the way she feels about herself. Why is it that seeing yourself sexy and beautiful and made up and glamorous makes you feel better?
Well, I'll start, and Vaida will continue, I'm sure, because she worked with a lot of girls. It comes with, I guess, experience, understanding that other people do not make you happy. Only you yourself make yourself happy. If you don't feel that I'm in love with myself, other people are not in love with you. They never will. You know, you will always be the second choice. But if you have that relationship with yourself, you accept yourself, you're admiring yourself, it naturally transmits that energy all around, and you attract the person who sees you the same way. So you can't find the happiness outside. And, going back to your question and posting the pictures for other people's, attention or approval. No, if I'm happy and I am, enjoying what I'm seeing, I am going to be doing it based on my own feeling. And eventually, if people then I don't care if people approve or disapprove, because if I was doing it for the approval, I would already bailed, because I've got the very negative, response to that. Why are you doing? Why you need it?
So
But because sorry?
You're a real estate broker. If you post a provocative picture in lingerie on your website or on your Facebook, and you get approached by potential clients, are you concerned about why they're approaching you?
Well, believe it or not, you don't need to post a picture with the lingerie to be approached for a wrong reason. So for that, it's always a pre-qualification process. I always meet, if somebody approaches me from the Facebook or any social media, I always meet them in my office. And if you want business, then, it's business. And I know very well how to separate my business part from my personal. However, I wouldn't want to intertwine my competition with selling the homes at the same time. So I'm not posting the pictures of selling the house and then my, Maxim cover girl competition, because that's something that will overlap, and I don't want the wrong impression that I'm trying to sell a house by showing my picture. So again, that this part for the time of the competition, I wouldn't want to overlap. However, my colleagues are very supportive, and they know what I'm doing, and that's it.
We're having an interesting chat tonight with Marina. I'm not going to pronounce her last name right, so I'm not going to say it. And Vida Mark, her photographer, who have submitted Marina's picture for a competition to be on the cover of Maxim magazine. It's an interesting conversation. We're going to take a break and come right back. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour, Saga 960. We're chatting with Marina Kasyanik. Oh, I'm so sorry. Kasyanik, who is a real estate broker here in Toronto. And she took some pictures with a boudoir photographer. She and her partner thought they were great, and so she decided that she was going to submit some pictures into a competition that Maxim has for the cover of their magazine. And she's in this competition that goes on for the next couple of weeks, and there's voting of it loud, and I'm going to put in the link to the votes, and we'll see and hope that she can get on the cover. Marina, you said that you wanted to do this to inspire other girls to feel confident themselves. Why and how?
Working in a different environment, I find that girls can get very emotional when they feel competition. And I don't want to use the word like catty, but they can be. And I was so lucky and blessed to be able to meet girls who are complete opposite, extremely supportive, extremely inspirational, because they have their career going on, they have their private life going on, and they're so differently developed, educated, and wired in such a way that it's fun to get together and share your experience, instead of keeping it very close and saying, oh, I don't want to tell you what I'm doing, because that's, for me, being afraid that someone will take it away from them. Vida, again, going back to your personality, it was absolutely amazing that Vida used to be a model, and she helped me, she guided me through that experience. She shared her secrets in order for me to be successful. So for me to share, my action to inspire other girls is as important. It's like pay forward, and bringing people up who surround you only brings you up, instead of trying. They had a saying, I don't know if it's a Canadian one, but you want to look pretty, find the ugly girlfriends. I don't want to do that. I think the girls who are my friends are absolutely gorgeous women, and it's a pleasure to be in their company.
So I know the two of you will find this kind of surprising, but I was actually a model as well. I was in a fashion show and had the opportunity to walk the runway. And I was walking the runway right behind the winner of Canada's top supermodel. And so I asked her for some advice because I had never walked a runway before. And she said, Brian, there's only one piece of advice I need to give you, and that is to stride strong, confident, and bold. I thought that was kind of cool. Strong, confident, and bold. Valletta, when you give people advice, Marina was saying that you were a former model and you give people great advice based on your experience on how to pose and act. What do you tell them?
Well, back when I was a model, I had zero guidance, zero. So I wanted to make sure that my clients have nothing to guess about, that everything they ever want, I will show them how to do. The only thing they need to come to understand is what is that they want. And while it sounds like a simple question, it is not always. So I have a series of conversational questions, I guess, that we go through at the beginning of every client
Like what?
shoot. Like, again, like, what is sexy to you? What brings you here today? Why now? What will your husband say when he sees these? Have you told him? Does anybody know you're here? What do you really, really hope to achieve from this? Now that she said what she hopes to achieve, okay, what is the other thing you didn't tell me that you really hope to achieve today? Would you rather be a sweet girl next door, or would you rather be provocative and sexual? And if she shies away and tells me that she will...
How do they answer that question?
Right, so some girls will say, oh, I'll just take the smiley one next door. I'm like, okay, so have you said that? Is it because that you really are that person? Or is it because that you're afraid to say yes to the provocative and sexual? Is because you don't know how to be that? Because if the latter is the case, this is why you're here, this is why you have me, and this is what I'm exactly going to show you what to do. And a lot of the girls lately have been like, yes, I want to be the provocative sexual one. I believe you. I'm here. I might as well do it.
So,
sorry, Brian, you'd actually be surprised how many girls would, want to do it inside, but would never vocalize. Again, in a lot of ways, because it's the society that restricts you to be a certain way. And there is a very fine line between being tacky or being, inappropriately looking cheap, or being sexual and classy.
So if I have a friend who's a real estate broker and sometimes posts pictures that are stunning and gorgeous, and other times post pictures that are a little bit provocative for my liking. Is that something I should get over and not react to?
Well, if you're referring to, your friend being a real estate agent, it boils down, how does it make you feel, her being an agent? Are you dealing on a business level with her, or is it at personal level? What makes you feel uncomfortable or not? Because bottom line, when you start giving advice to other people, usually it's not really welcomed, and people shut you down saying, okay, you don't know what you're doing. You may have an advice that, depending obviously how close you are with this person, that, okay, just to let you know, this is the portrait. I actually read an interesting psychological article about, the Instagram and Facebook picture, that the first picture that you show. And what does this person actually show to the world? Some of them are, animals, or some of them are a picture, some of them are people turned with your back. So picture that this is your house and this is your window, and this is the first thing that people see through your window. So it really, what does the person want to be looked at, or how the person wanted to be looked at?
Very true. Also, a good question for you, Brian, right back at you, is when you said you find some of the images posted provocative, what is provocative to you?
Well, so, a woman in a beautiful dress is potentially classy and can be beautiful and sexy. But then a picture in a bikini can be, I would describe, potentially too provocative.
Why?
Because it is.
But when you go to the beach, there's thousands of provocative people then, right?
Which is exactly the response I got when I commented on it.
So
That
what did you tell her?
by the pool, it's completely appropriate. Why is it not appropriate on Facebook and Instagram?
I agree that there should be a separation between the professional Instagram and the personal Instagram, or whatever the account is. And that's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not posting, the houses that I'm selling next to my personal pictures or next to the picture of my family. Never mind the provocative or not. If I want to have a professional page, then it's only going to be professional. I'm not mixing that. But the fact that I am a real estate agent and I'm also a mom, and I'm also can be competing in this competition. These are two separate things, but it is combining in one person.
Okay, so you're a mom.
Exactly.
I have an extremely attractive young daughter in her 20s with a professional career downtown Toronto. But she does provoke. She does post some very beautiful pictures on Instagram in her Instagram feed. What, if any, guidelines as a dad should I be giving her as to what's appropriate and what's not appropriate?
Again, you're dealing with a very different generation when a lot of things have moved the borders of appropriate and inappropriate, but borderline is how does she want to be perceived, and what attention is she getting by posting certain pictures, and what are they suggesting. I think borderline, and my daughter is not at that age that she's going to be using the social media left, right yet. But my only question to her would be, what's the reason that she's doing it? What's her purpose?
And your purpose?
What is she getting out of it? Yeah.
Sorry.
My purpose?
Vaida, I interrupted you. What did you say?
Sorry, yeah, I interrupted by saying, what is the person getting out of it by posting such images online? That's the question to be asked.
I presume attention. I don't know. So
that's why you should ask her.
What's your intention of posting the poses that you submitted to Maxim online?
Saying that a woman can be classy and sexy and can be a professional and can be a mom, and it's okay to be, accepting yourself with all these different things and be open about it.
Okay.
It's really just a secret to how to be happy in life. Think about it this way, for most people that once they get married, become parents, have a career, it is easy to lose yourself and to lose your sense of self, and really set yourself up for years of depression and or suppressed personality. So I salute to Marina for doing what she's doing. This is exactly what can and break up the marriages, down the line too. When you stop loving yourself, when you stop feeling like yourself, things start crumbling down, and you have the responsibility of being the role model for your child. And you also have responsibility for your partner to love him and to love yourself. And that's important that you take care of yourself in all these different facets, because if you lose yourself between the diapers and then the career choices, then you're no longer the person that you were when he met you.
I 100% agree with that, because there's another saying that a girl meets a guy hoping that she's going to change him. The guy meets a girl hoping that she will never change. And it usually happens the opposite. The girl tries to adjust her ways and sacrifice her life, which is I personally done that before. It's a crutch that is being used that, I'm sacrificing, my happiness for my child or for my family. When in the end of the day, I'm making other people unhappy. because I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting, very unhappy with myself, and I cannot be a happy mom. I cannot be a happy partner. I cannot be a loving, giving person when it's lacking inside me. When I'm filling myself with these feelings and emotions, then it's enough to share with everybody.
Now, you say your partner was supportive. I would have thought that, you see your partner's stunning, maybe provocative pictures up there, you get a little bit concerned, no?
It's healthy. This is how you meet each other at the beginning. This is, what the dating game is in some ways. So introducing a little bit of a, hey, look at my hot wife, or yeah, she's out there. It's a little healthy. Come on.
I think it becomes, in a way, also the bragging rights.
Yes.
I feel the same way. Look, I'm with an amazing man who is, talented in so many ways, and he looks great, and I'm very, honored and blessed to be with him, and he feels the same way about me.
What a fascinating conversation. This is interesting. So what do you hope to get out of this, Marina?
I'm not opposed to winning.
That's helpful.
But I truly enjoy this journey because I have been able to reconnect with people who I haven't been connected in a while, and they saw the pictures and they reached out and they extended their support. I think I am already very, very grateful to those who voted today in the short couple hours to place me, second or third on that list. It means, so much to me on a personal level, understanding that, wow, I really have people in my life who are good friends, who are, supportive, who are respectful, and who really, make me feel that what I'm doing is the right thing.
And Vaida, have you photographed other people that have been doing comparable competitions?
Perhaps. I'm not always aware of what people get up to with their photos afterwards. I mean, my sole purpose is to make her happy, to make her feel beautiful, and for her to have these really priceless memories of herself today and for her partner. And majority of the time, the images are very private. I mean, I know we just talked about, posting them on social media for likes and attention. Otherwise, majority of my clients, those photos never see the light of day outside of their own bedroom. That is, a sexy little secret.
A sexy little secret, a priceless memory, and supporting people. This is an interesting conversation. Hey, we're going to take another break. Stay with us. We're going to come back with Marina and Vaida in just a minute. Stay with us.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour, Saga 960. We're chatting with Marina, who is a real estate broker and a Maxim cover girl, or potentially a Maxim cover girl because she's in a competition for it. And Vaida, who is her photographer, who runs a boudoir photography company called Little White Lies.
White Lies Photography.
White Lies. Oh, I thought it was Little White Lies. Okay, White Lies. Vaida, is this inspiring or intimidating, or both?
So yeah, that's a very good point. What we really seek to do here today, myself and Marina, is that to remind the woman who is currently maybe sitting at home with this COVID situation and the feeling like she's lost herself, like she's unattractive right now, maybe feeling like, yeah, it's good for Marina because she's got everything together, life, family, career, beauty, and amazing success within this contest so far, and that can be potentially intimidating to another woman who is maybe feeling like she's gaining her quarantine 15. So my advice to those is to take time for yourself. Take time for yourself. Take that long bubble bath. Do things that make you feel good. Do things that make you feel beautiful. I know it may be hard to see that right now, but do pull out those summer clothes and wear them proudly. And if you feel like you need a little extra help on how to think, on how to stretch yourself, you can always find a girl that is seemingly doing it better online, for example, such as on Instagram. If you have any girlfriends that are doing it for likes, be like, hey girl, how do you do this? How do you make that booty pop? Like, how do you make it so good looking in photos? And you'd be surprised how many girls will help you, will teach you, will share you these secrets. Actually, girls love doing that. That's all we talk about, is sharing little beauty secrets. And if one day you find yourself wanting some professional experience like what Marina had, I welcome you to contact me at White Lights Photography, and we'll go through what a session can do for you.
Excellent.
I will add just one more thing. Probably a year and a half ago, I would have never thought of doing this. And, you know, it's not because my career was not there or I wasn't a mom. I was just not feeling that I could be doing this. I didn't see myself the way I see myself now. And that's the only difference that Vida said. It allows you to let go of your internal, you know, image, because you carry the weight of your experience. You carry the weight of, you know, some successful stories, but we always tend to hold on to the negative things, and that brings us down. So, you know, allowing to disconnect from that and, you know, seeing yourself and saying, you know what, I know a lot of people may say don't, but my question goes back to the same one. Why not?
Well, I like putting on a good looking suit. I like putting on a black tie. I like looking my best, and you know, I guess it's not the same as posing in a boudoir photography session, and or submitting my my picture to Maxim, because I doubt anyone would want that. But there's no question it makes you feel good to look your best. And so if that's what you're doing, and it sounds like you are, and you're looking your best, and you're showing the world that you can look your best, all the power to you.
Thank you. One thing, if you don't mind, I'll just add, because we really focused on the ladies. There's nothing wrong with men looking great and feeling good about themselves in so many ways. So that's not like discrimination or just focusing. It's just happens that Maxim only, you know, cast the girls for the cover, but it has nothing to do with, you know, me being opposed to inspiring, you know, men to do their best, look their best, and be proud to be who they are, as much as being proud of their partners.
Vida, do you do boudoir photography of men as well, or just of females?
So while females is my majority of my clients, I certainly do men's boudoir and couples as well. And I believe I have Marina coming back to me sometime this year, and she may possibly bring her partner along as well.
Fantastic. Well, if we want to vote for you, Marina, how do we do that? You're going to post and give us the link?
I will share the link, and if you click on the link, it will tell you a free daily vote, and that's what you would just click on.
Excellent. And make sure that you tell us the results, and maybe come back if you're for sure a winner, but even give us the experience in a couple of weeks about how this whole process has. And Vida, if people want to avail themselves of your boudoir photography, how do they do that?
I'll be happy to provide you with a link as well, but they can simply type in whitelightsphotography.com and find the contact me page.
Well, thank you both very much for joining us tonight on the Brian Crombie Show. We're going to take a final break, and I'm going to come back with a couple of concluding comments in just a minute. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour, Saga 960. I thought that was an interesting conversation. So I'm not actually sure how I became aware of Marina, but you know, followed her on Facebook and then found out that she was competing in this Maxim cover story, and found that kind of interesting. And I think that what both her and Vida talk about people that sort of forget how beautiful they are inside and outside, and the vivaciousness that they have, and the beauty they have, the glamour they have, is a shame. And so, you know, whether it's a photography session or a workout session or whatever it is nice to take that time for yourself. Vida talked about taking a bubble bath, but I think these boudoir photography sessions, or I've just found photography sessions in a suit for myself, very helpful to just improve my self-image and get confident. And we all need a little boost every once in a while of a little bit of self-confidence, and self-confidence is so critically important to be successful in life. And if you can take a picture that makes you look beautiful and or handsome, all the power to you. And I do like that one model told me when you go out on the runway, stride strong, confident, and bold. And, just listening to Vieta and the way that she talks about calming people down, getting them interested, putting on some good music, I can imagine she actually can get people to smile, pose, and be their best. And so finding that photographer that's got that special knack is probably critically important too. Anyway, that's an interesting show, at least for me, on the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're on every Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock on Saga 960 AM or streamed online at www.saga960am.ca, or you can get all my podcasts and videocasts on my website, briancrombie.com / either podcasts or videocasts. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good night.